This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Keep on loving it, never stop. When the music drop, we take it way straight to the top. Keep on loving it, never stop. When the music drop, we take it way.
Talking Heads with Naughty and MJ is brought to you by The Armory Company, Assurance Home Care, Burger King, Easy Car Sales, Fine Threads, Island Luck, John's Department Store, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, Prince Masters, and Tropical Gyros.
When you bust that move, you wanna dance all night, yeah. Keep on loving it, never stop. When the music drop, dance it up. We take it way straight to the top. Keep on loving it, never stop. When the music drop, dance it up. We take it way straight to the top. Keep on loving it, never stop. When the music drop, dance it up.
I just wanna dance all night, breaking and scraping, 'cause it feels so. I just wanna dance all night, breaking and scraping, 'cause it feels so
Keep on
nice.
loving it, never stop. When the music drop,
Dance it up,
we take it way straight to the top. Keep on loving it,
never stop.
when the music drop,
Dance it up,
we take it way straight
to the top,
Keep on loving it,
never stop.
when the music drop.
Dance it up. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. I just wanna dance all night, breaking and scraping, 'cause it feels so. I just wanna dance all night, breaking and scraping, 'cause it feels so nice.
Feeling this rake and scrape, yeah, that rake and scrape. Want some move with the rake and scrape. Everybody can feel the vibration every time the music plays. Come on, get up and move your body.
Get up.
This rake is scraping it. No, I don't want to sit. This music licking. Watch that boots 'cause we jamming. It's a rake and scrape party. All the ladies they whining. Look how they whining, they race tonight. It's a dance competition, yeah.
I just wanna dance
Yeah, yeah.
all night,
All
breaking
right.
and scraping, 'cause it feels so. I just wanna dance
Wanna dance.
all night, breaking and scraping, 'cause it feels so nice.
Keep on loving it. When the music drop, we take it way to scrape. Keep on loving it. When the music drop, we take it way to scrape. Keep on loving it.
And good afternoon, good day. Welcome to our Talking Heads Thursday here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Forgive me for being late. I had to talk to my girl Gabby. She had to row me. So I had to get my little row in the back. But I want you, so happy to be here with you. I got a special guest. We're going to introduce you to a special guest, but I got to tell you how you can become a talking head.
Here's how you can become a talking head. Brought to you by BTC.
Very, very easy. All you do is you pick up your phone. Now, you turn on your radio, pick up your phone, you dial 323-6232, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4316, or 325-4259, 325-4259. Toll free, 242-300-5720. If you don't want to call, no problem, you can text me. And it's powered by BTC, 422-4796, 422-4796. Let me hear from you. Great. Ah, boy, I ran late, so I had to run up the steps. And I ain't gonna lie, barely in shape. That was supposed to be my New Year's resolution, but I have to make it my Easter resolution to get a little in shape there. But let's see what's going on in the headlines.
It's time for Headliners. Everything that's making headlines in the 242. Brought to you by the Fine Threads.
Davis pledges to break GBPA order. Davis Bahamian sovereignty will be real in Freeport. PM says 2 families will not decide fate of Bahamians. Davis said government on target to meet projected surplus. I'll speak to our brother. Police walkabout. Opposition supports rejection of GBPA's counterclaims. And teen tells court of daily sex with RBDF Marine. Say what? Boy. Oh, Lord. We can talk about that. This is going on the business section. Davis, Ministry of Finance developing oversight framework for public projects. Government establishing robust monitoring and evaluation framework aimed at improving project selection, implementation, accountability, and value. PM, cruising car generated $2.8 million in first half of fiscal year. Exuma Chamber, President stance on Rosewood project, not that of Chamber's board. And CBD encouraging entrepreneurs, investors to utilize trade financing guarantee. Interesting stuff. So everybody, you're gonna see the weather starting to warm up a little bit. I had to turn on the AC last night on my fan. It was a little hot, but it's warming up now, and summer's not too far. We got Easter coming. Then, Bahamians, we don't go on the beach till Easter Monday, so that will happen pretty soon. And then we'll start getting right into summer. And you know what May might bring? Might bring. But we'll see what that happens. So everybody, I have a special guest today. But just before I introduce my first special guest, let's see what this caller has to say. Caller, you on the line.
Early.
Hey.
A couple of weeks ago, I tell you about the lighter and thing.
I think I remember, yeah. Talk to me.
Who the Minister Maritime is?
I do not remember who the Minister of Maritime is.
Wherever the Minister of Maritime is, they got one company, one person dealing with that same thing I was telling you about.
Uh-huh.
That thing has to do with, Barker and Freeport, right?
Yes.
All right. We have a ship out to sea.
Yes.
We got all those grades of fuel.
Yes.
A mothership.
Yes.
All the other ships come to that ship and receive fuel.
Yes.
For the same terminal fees and thing you pay for that for Barco.
Uh-huh.
Pay to that company to receive fuel.
Okay.
And one company doing it under the PLP.
Then it should
understand all type of maritime, but I ain't in the maritime industry.
Okay.
I put in a thing for that too.
And you got
I don't lotion man, I don't like man, nothing like that.
Uh-huh.
I'm a businessman.
Yes, sir.
I ain't gotta be flicking, begging and pleading to get.
No, you should not do.
Country.
If you offering a service, and particularly as a Bahamian, you should have a fair opportunity to get it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They need to stop their foolishness, bro. Stop their foolishness and let everybody have a piece of the pie, bro.
Like my good pen dad said, everybody got to eat, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Everyone need to get a piece of the pie.
Yeah.
And you put your bid in, you put your proposal in, and then the best proposal win. You understand what I'm saying? Not just going and just giving people these initiatives and these jobs, bro.
No bid contracts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody into that right now, bro.
I understand. And it's not
my family is PLP.
Okay.
You understand? I'm against them right now, bro. You understand? Because it's the same foolishness what they're dealing with.
And they ain't supporting you on this?
I mean, I could talk to them. I don't want to. I don't do that type of thing, bro.
Yeah, but
I won't be like everybody else.
But I mean, I'm
if
talking about,
I got
I'm
a
not.
satisfactory bid,
Uh-huh.
you understand what I'm saying? And it's approved, I'll go with that. I ain't trying to go under the table and trying to give people money and taking all that foolishness, brother.
No, I mean to talk to them. I want your family to understand what you're going through. To
They
side
know what
with
I'm
you.
going through.
Okay.
And I tell them, you understand? I ain't trying to be like everybody else.
No, I understand.
I try
that.
to do things the right way.
And that's admirable, and I applaud you
As
for
a
that.
Bahamian.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
Okay, brother. Thanks for the call.
Yeah, man.
All right. So, Pearlie has been doing this show for a couple of years now. And one of the things I have not done is have any political interviewers. But we now are in the silly season. So, Pearlie is having his first political candidate on. Now, while I'm going to say this, I'm going to say this loud and I'm going to say this clear. I am open to any political candidate, be he FNM, be she PLP, be he COI. You are more than welcome to Pearlie Show on Thursdays, 4 to 6. The Talking Heads with Pearlie, Naughty, and MJ will be Pearlie on Thursdays. I am extending an open invitation, Litre Ramming. I'm telling you, I'm extending an open invitation to any PLP candidate. With Brother Lincoln Bain, I'm extending an open invitation to any COI who wants to come and have a conversation with me. We will sit down like adults and we will have an admirable a wonderful conversation, and we will share what your views are, and I will ask you the tough questions, and I will ask you the easy questions on your views. The invitation is there. Latrell, you got my number. Lincoln, you have my number, and many of you have my number. Call me. If you can't get me, 302-2300 is the main line of the Guardian. Ask for April, and April will book you on the show with me. We good? Okay. Now, to my first guest, a rookie politician, a young man who I've known for a while, and he's offered himself as the Free National Movement candidate for Pinewood. Welcome to the show, Brother Denari Rolle.
Blessings, brother, blessings. It's a pleasure to be here, and especially being number one.
Yes.
I feel good. I feel like I tell every time I hear one, I feel like, this must see a song of what's to come. It's a pleasure to be here. Good afternoon.
First, you're the whole day coming, huh?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Bob. I was just wondering, I going to crack you on.
Okay.
You say a rookie politician. Well, I'm glad you call me a rookie politician, because I tell residents I don't consider myself a politician anyhow. I consider myself a leader. So
I got you.
I go with leader.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
And you ain't a rookie at being a leader.
I tell you that. Yes, it's 15 plus years in terms of leadership that I bring to the table.
So who is Denari Rolle? I mean, I know your mommy. Your mommy and I went to SAC together. So.
Oh, soccer.
You know.
Yeah, the cult. Yeah,
So her.
soccer.
I know from whence you came. I know your lineage. I know your family. Wonderful lady. Dear friend of mine is in Augustine's, and very good lady.
Yeah.
Who is Denari Rolle, though?
Denari Rolle is first a God-fearing father. I have one son. His name is Demari Rolle.
Hey, Demari.
Hey, you pick up Gabby in the studio, guys. Gabby, Earl Crocker, early. That's my girl. Love her a lot.
Amen.
But Denari Rolle is a God-fearing father first before anything. I'm a community developer, manager at Water and Sewage. I have a lot of other titles, whether it's youth developer, IT specialist, and technician. I specialize in IT abroad. I believe in being the change I wish to see in the world, which is Mahatma Gandhi, my favorite quote. And then in terms of service above self. And so Denari is just here to be a voice, not for myself, but those young people. I hope to inspire a young generation of leaders to get in the fight, get involved, because we are the future. We have to be able to get in this fight and be a voice for ourselves. So coming as a young person, I intend to represent well and lead well so that I can inspire the next generation of leaders to follow suit. You know, a humble child tastes the grace of God. I set myself aside. I put God first in everything I do, and I just let, the rest take care of itself. So, yeah, that's me. Passionate about people, love service, and I love a challenge, and that's why I picked Pinewood. I consider myself a man of action. I think politics lack a lot of integrity in men too, and on both sides. And so my integrity, I think, comes for something, standing for what is right. And I just think that's the type of leadership we need, and partnering with this dynamic team of F&M candidates led by our leader, Michael Pintado, who probably be the youngest prime minister we had in some recent time. And then when you look at the makeup of the slate, the other candidates that are joining me, I'm just elated and excited to be here to work on behalf of the Bahamian people and offer myself as a young, innovative, community-centric, detail-oriented, and driven leader.
Okay, but I noticed you didn't say one thing. I saw on TikTok the other day that you were jumping up and down belling. So you're a Junkanoo man? You're Bella?
Well, I left it, but I'm a culture lover.
Okay.
I love Junkanoo. Junkanoo is at the core of mostly everything I do. Even with that, I'm what they call a director of our TNOX program. I was the former director of SNAPDOC now due to my political journey, but I was the director of the Genesis TNOX, and that mandate was to develop community leaders and nation builders through the art of Junkanoo. I also was the leader of the baseline. So I know you saw me belling.
I see you belling, so you're a bass drummer.
I'm a bass drummer,
Okay.
on
Boom, boom,
Genesis
boom, boom,
line. I used to heartbeat. Boom, 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 I bring the storm, the big speed. Yeah, but a multi-talented Junkanoo is just a display of who we are as a people.
Okay.
And I love culture. Culture is something that I see that could actually help to expand the economy if we look at it more seriously. And that's something I think this F&M government is going to do too, to explode in the orange economy and the cultural arena. And so I'm excited. I just love Junkanoo. It's a passion of mine. I've been doing that from a young fella. Probably started at the age 11, 12.
Okay. Well, so what would you like to see done with Junkanoo to take it to the next level? We know Boxing Day, New Year's Day, we have a major parade with all the groups are rushing. Outside of that, what would you like to see happen for Junkanoo?
Yeah, I think we need to develop it year round. We need to make it a year round thing. we don't market the product enough. Like you say, we only wait for Boxing Day and New Year's, but it has so much other things. Junkanoo could actually be a job. And in my view, we could look at, I know you have the different island parades. However, most times Nassau groups or Nassau group members go over and assist the islanders with their parades. But I think we need to start getting more standalone-ish in each island. Everybody represent their uniqueness and just make it a year-round calendar of events. Even as you come to Bay Street, you would want to have a week of events. You know, a lot of people talk about the long delays with the groups and that different sorts of stuff. I think we need to have like a festival type of style week leading up into the big parade. You have the B group go on one day and then the A group goes another day. Throughout the years, I think we could build teams that at each tourist land, because a lot of people does not know about Junkanoo. As each team, we could have a team set up by the airport 8 hours a day, and every hour has planes land and stuff, and guests come off the
rush
the
them off the
planes and
plane.
stuff, rush them off the plane, like how we sometimes do on the cruise dock. We need to have our Junkanoo magazine. I've always been pushing every Bahamas Air flight have a magazine of Junkanoo, what it's about, what is our culture going all around the world. We need to do a better job at partnering with tourism to share our product. I want to see Junkanoo B&Bs and birthday celebrations. So you have an online Junkanoo website where people could book Junkanoo people to perform, whether it's to a wedding anniversary, whether it's for a birthday shindig, whether it's for an engagement or wedding, they could book it online. Have it as a part of their package. I look to see tourists coming off the plane and saying, I want to participate in Boxing Day or New Year's Day parade or Labor Day parade. And they could go online like a carnival group, get a fun package and participate in learning the festival. And what we do too, definitely I want to see a cultural museum in terms of storage of these items, because we put in our blood, sweat, and tears. Junkanoo already start now. It just opened already start. Groups already having meetings. They're already prepared for this year.
You can't talk your
What you trying to do? Of course, we don't try to win now. But yeah, we Junkanoo already start again. And so what you'd want to see is I want a unique space for every Junkanoo group where we are able to make money from what it is that we do. Oftentimes we pump our blood, sweat, and tears, but the only thing we really get from it is bragging rights. So I want to see a cultural museum where some of our key pieces are sold, and a percentage goes to the government, a percentage goes to maintenance and storage fee, and then the rest goes to whoever the artisan is. And so whether we charge $1 or $2 for this cultural village, they could pick up a piece. And even if you charge, let's say, we always brag about the tourism numbers that come in, but if we have a Junkanoo museum where each of them just say pay $2 or $5 a head to go as enter the museum, that's matriculation and help in the economy that we could use to pump and further develop our crafts. So there's so much things that we could do with this thing called Junkanoo, even on, like I guess, say islands that don't know it, far as Dubai and Brazil and the likes, these things that don't even know Junkanoo exists, Africa and these type of stuff, our other brothers on the next side of town, we could carry that over there, make money, get shows or whatever like that, sell it as an actual product where people will be working for the culture. So there's a lot we could do with Junkanoo.
You're a young man, and you ain't got a 5 in front of your age yet, so I consider you a young man.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of young people today say, man, I ain't into no politics, ain't nothing that, ain't nothing to this. What made Denari Rowell want to give up his private life? I know he's a water, that sweet little thing at Water and Sewage, the job he got at Water and Sewage, the office, the management position, the salary, to want to...
Because I ain't getting paid off for true. I got no job, y'all. I got no job. So donate to the campaign. Shout out.
So what made you want to give all that up? Give up a private life, and in the private life, your life is private. Now you're under scrutiny. If you buck your toe, they make a criticism. If you have 2 drinks, they make a criticism. What made you want to give up all of that private life to give this now to a public life? To offer yourself as a candidate in an area that you got to work. So what made you want to do that?
Well, it actually started back in college. When I was wrapping up in Canada, Halifax, I had the opportunity to stay abroad. One thing I knew for certain was there's no place like home. And from then, which was at least 10 years or so ago now, at least at minimum, I felt like brain drain was affecting the country. To be a young man to say, wow, I have an opportunity to stay in Canada. But I know there were some struggles at home that needed to be addressed. And for me, it's always, I would rather go back home. I know it's bad. It's who you know in the system. Politicians get a lot of talk, no action. I always knew for sure I wanted to come back home and be of a change that I wanted to see definitely back home. And so I was like, for sure, when I was done with college, even though I had the opportunity to stay abroad, I was like, I want to go back home and just be of a change. And so I started to do, community events and initiatives in regards to like partnering with the elderly care home or the Elizabeth Estates Children Home or the Ranfully Home, and just giving back, putting smiles on the hearts and faces of individuals. And that always brought me pleasure. I grew up under a 2-parent Christian home. My daughter's a pastor, and I always tease them, they adopt the word. Everybody, I would say, live in our house. And so I guess being raised like that, I always had a heart for people. And so as I went through life, seeing the impact I would have had in regards to just assisting people, not looking for fame, not looking for any clout or nothing about it, it was actually some good work. People were really hurting. And I had a son very early. I was 21 years of age when my son was born, and it was in that moment I realized, well, you got to work 2 jobs. So like you say, I started working at water and sewage, but I still need another job because that made me mature rather swiftly. One thing I made a commitment to God was I was going to take care of my son. Mm-hmm. And so from that, I was like, okay, I had to work 2 jobs. So I was working at water and sewage, and apparently people don't know, I was a Domino's driver. I used to deliver pizza. Okay. And that's how I got so connected with understanding the roads, and now saw all the side cuts and through the corner because I used to be in Blue Hill Bad with my little buggy. So that's how I got very familiar with the road. And then as I grew older, I'm working in the public, but working in the system, it showed me that a lot of things was wrong. A lot of things that goes unchecked. When you go against the green or you challenge the status quo, you become a target. Okay. You could see a lot of things on the outside that you know is wrong. And it was always like the only way you could get in or change it is getting in the fight. And admittedly, I didn't want to get involved in politics at all. But I had a good friend. Her name is Danielle, and she was like, man, Nari, we see what you're doing, and, you should come out. If only, I say, I don't want to come to no political meeting. Politicians is a bunch of fluff talk. They ain't into nothing. They don't deliver. I ain't interested. And I went to one TYA meeting just to hear them out. And at that meeting, we had some big hitters, you would call it at the time, Dwayne Sands, like so Dr. Minnis and stuff. Big players were there at the time. And I asked them very straightforward and direct questions. And I got some answers. Some I was satisfied with. Others I was like, this ain't it. But after I went to that meeting, Carl Alberto was like, boy, we need you around. You was a soldier. This what it is. And I was like, so from then I was like in the TYA, always pushing. And I grew and I see how politics actually work internally. And then still afraid. I was like, I don't know if this for me because, having principle and, being a team player and then sometimes going against what you believe or what you call the party, it is be a little bit taxing. But again, I reflected on the brain drain. And everybody saying, but now you have so much to offer. You got what it takes. But you saying a lot on the side, and what you saying making sense. But we're changing. And I was like, but you're right. Because the more I complain on the outside, you know what I mean? And the more I say what's wrong, if I don't get involved in the fight, the same place could be in the system. If I don't get in there and fight and say, let me try to see if I can find 1 or 2 like-minded individuals like me, that's the only way the system will change.
Exactly.
And so,
from within.
Exactly. So I was like, you know what, I got to get within. It ain't going to be easy, but let me get within because I don't like the fact that we if you look at the brain drain statistics, almost 20% are young, bright, talented individuals are in different parts of the world soaring at the highest level, whether it's in sports, whether it's, and we got a lot of Bahamian pilots flying in different areas. We got a lot of engineers and stuff coming out top and making the U.S. or other entities look good with their talent and stuff like that. And I was like, man, why can't we do that here? How do we get them back home? Because if we have these individuals who are passionate about country and not necessarily party, we could get rid of some of this bureaucracy and all this red tape that is in the way. We could take off to really be the first world country that a lot of people say that we are. And so for me, it was like, you know what? It is a sacrifice. But if I want a future for my 12-year-old son, and right now they saying, it's 1-to-1 in a sense with foreign nationals compared to Bahamians. And if I want my son to have a little say in this country, I got to get in the fight. And so that ultimately saying fighting for him and his future, fighting for the generations to come and their future, and young leaders like myself, I got to get off the sideline. And I, like you say, open myself up to scrutiny. But with Christ in the vessel, you could smile at any storm. And after praying and saying, God say go, because he called me to lead and he said go, I said, all right, the time is now. and me get in the fight.
Wonderful. We can take our first break. When I come back, I'm going to ask you why Pinewood.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you what is it that you have plans for Pinewood.
Yes, sir.
And we'll get into it like that. This is Pearly on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. It's a Talking Heads Thursday with my special guest, the Free National Movement candidate for Pinewood, Denari Road. We'll be right back.
He's the one and only.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
The fried chicken experts are back with a brand new way to enjoy your favorite sandwich. Introducing the Wrap Star. Crunch into the Wrap Star, full of flavor and wrapped in a warm grilled tortilla for that perfect crunchy bite. A classic made modern that's crunchy, melty, and grilled to perfection for all the journeys of your day. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Are you or someone you love in need of at-home care support? Maybe you require medication administration, mobility assistance, or post-surgical recovery support. Do you have a loved one who is suffering from Alzheimer's or dementia and need patient-centered support? Well, there's a caring, affordable, and trusted solution available for you. It's called Assurance Home Care. We have certified Bahamian nurses and caregivers, and we can provide both hourly or monthly rates. Call us now for a free consultation at 242-810-8995. At Assurance Home Care, we provide quality care you can trust right at home.
Tech giving you trouble? For 85 years, the Armory Company has been fixing it. Your parents trusted us. Your grandparents trusted us. And today, you trust us too. Since 1941, we've been the Bahamas' trusted tech partner. From laptops and ink to access control and gate motors, we deliver reliable products backed by service that goes beyond the sale. Call 397-1600 or visit our updated showroom behind Wendy's on Mackey Street. The Armory Company, celebrating 85 years of serving you.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
It's time for The Buzz. What are you buzzing on? Brought to you by John Shoes.
Yeah, ma. That's it. It's a girl, mama.
Welcome back to our Talking Heads Thursday here with Pearly. My special guest today, Denari Road, the Free National Movement's candidate for Pinewood. Denari.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned earlier that you like a challenge.
Yes, sir.
Why Pinewood?
Well, when I was looking at my options, right? I worked at Water and Sewage. And let me tell you my path at Water and Sewage. I found it rather interesting and to see where I landed. And it was by choice. So when I first went to Water and Sewage, I was working with people would call, or what some may know as GIS, and that stands for Geographical Information Systems. What that was or entailed of me was doing my about 6-7 years in that department. Every piece of infrastructure that Water and Sewage has, whether it's here in Nassau on the Family Islands, we were responsible for collecting, digitizing, and producing. So when you talk about valves, main lines, meters, pipes, hydrants, you name it, we had to go there and get something called a GPS that you use to get the coordinates. We had to take them, put it back in the system, run it through a software, and produce maps and create basically layers that we produce for people to use, right? And then from there, I was transferred and I went into the operations department. We call it NPO, and I was a manager, managing what we call road reinstatement. And so with road reinstatement, and then I also was responsible for basically training the entire corporation from the GM go down in our major system.
Okay.
What we call City Works.
Mm-hmm.
It was like this fit of my expertise was ideal for Pinewood. Pinewood had the most real issue that they have when talking to residents with obviously is the flooding. That's a 40-year problem.
Okay.
In my view, successive governments has kicked the can down the road. The FNM, I would say, did the most in regards to trying to address the issue because I don't think it's a drainage issue. We had a lot of drains installed.
Because the Army Corps of Engineers was here back in the 90s.
They started that. And then even with the former candidate and Senator Ruben Rahman, I was key in helping him and witnessing him install some drains in there. So I don't think it's an issue of drainage. The challenge was drainage maintenance. But before I go there, seeing that issue, right? And then as a young, innovative person coming from this, I thought this would be the perfect fit. And then not only that, I grew up in the Pinewood area. So if I was in home by my parents, I would hang by my other friends on Cottonwood. We chill out there, we slam some dominoes. One of my other boys used to live in Pulling Division number 7. That's by PTC Exchange on the corner there. We used to hang out, chill out in there. And then I went to CV Battle. I got a lot of friends from CV Battle in high school. Most of them live in the South Beach and Pinewood area. And so it was like a second home to me. So during my high school time, I used to play basketball. And we used to be up and down on different parks and stuff like that. So I grew a lot of friendships and connections in the community. So it's like home to me. And then God just put it so that with the former MP, they call him the cowboy. I was behind the scenes assisting him with some of the work that he did in regards to his PR and stuff like that to try to get out some of the shit that he was doing. So it was like I wasn't starting from scratch. I've worked in there. I grew up in there. I used to play ball in the park. I'm familiar with these people.
So you got a base.
The challenge that exists is where I work. So I was like, this is the perfect fit for me.
Okay.
And so going in there, I was like, yeah, man, I up to the task. And what I think is, for me, it's bigger than politics because when I am successful and I'm able to get in, when we really bring these real, lasting, tangible impacts to the residents of Pinewood, then to me, that's the victory.
Okay.
That the residents are able to smile
Okay.
because that they will actually see tangible results happening from an issue that has plagued them for far too long. And so that's not only, I wouldn't say a win for me, but generally the win of Pinewood residents. And I would just be happy to deliver on that for them because I know it's something that I could do. And so...
Okay, I want to ask you this question because your background, you're from water and sewage.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is something we've not looked at or talked about for ever, anytime. We lose a lot of significant water through leaks, aging infrastructure. Because I remember the road projects in 2010. When they, and particularly in Robinson Road, when they took those old them old cast iron pipes out, the crud and thing that was in it. With your background in at water and sewage and IT, how would you use technology, things like smart meters, pressure sensors, or network monitoring to reduce water loss and to help make water and sewage systems more efficient?
Well, with those discussions, they're currently ongoing now. Smart metering is one thing definitely that could help detect leaks, and it makes it easier for customers as well because oftentimes residents or customers don't know when they have a leak, right?
Right.
They only see when it shows up on their bill. The smart meter actually triggers.
Okay.
They could monitor it. They could download to their meter. And it actually makes meter reading actually easier too. So a lot of customers have issue with guesstimating in terms of how their bill or what their actual bill is.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives responsibility to the customer because I think oftentimes customers don't pay attention to what's going on with their water. Generally, when you talk about infrastructure development, there are a lot of tools out there that government just needs to invest in to know and understand how the system works. Now, with Pinewood specifically, when you talk about equipment, you just need compressors, some snakes, blowers, and you have your proper drainage maintenance. We have already started that. One of the things I told residents is I'm not going to wait until I win to start the work. We've already started the work. Like I say, we have already digitized. What I call digitized, we have already on our map, we have all of the map drains located. So it's about 99 drains that currently exist in Pinewood. The issue is maintenance.
Okay.
Some of them look blacker than the shirt you get on barely. They like nobody touched them for years. And I think if we do routine and proper drainage maintenance, that would alleviate a lot of the flooding issues. That would be a big saving grace of what some of the issues is that people face. And so what I'm doing is we already started the work. We're building out a team now and a plan to make it more consistent. And I'm challenging residents to get involved because I think education is the key for residents to understand what it is that is going on, so that when they see something wrong, they'll be able to call in and fix it with my team to address their issue. And then you give them an understanding of what the problem is that they are faced with. And so that type of stuff, the nice equipment and stuff that is here and available, we could do in Pinewood. Water and sewage, like I say, they are taking on smart metering now. I think they've already started some installation across the island. When you talk about network monitoring and leak detection, I think they're looking to invest in some of that material as well. We have 1 or 2 guys that specialize in leak detection and that sort of stuff. They partner with Mia. Mia does most of that for them now to analyze the system to see where the leaks are, how to address water, where the non-revenue water is, that sort of stuff. So it's becoming progressive, and like I say, governments, the technology is there, like you said. It's just a thing of seriously investing in it to continuously push to make it better. But on the Pinewood front, my view is through public-private partnerships.
PPPs?
PPPs to continue to get the job done, to make it happen. And then what I want to do is I'll be incentivizing a lot of young residents from Pinewood that don't have a job or looking for a trade. We're going to host workshops and train them in how to actually properly maintain drains and use the necessary heavy equipment so that it will be community taking care of their communities, and we will be building up the community. So I don't have to go outside the Pinewood for a team, because the Pinewood team will be so strong enough that we'll be just consistently maintaining and doing it from right in there.
Okay, the world, the Bahamas is basically a modern economy right now, but a lot of the government agencies still operate like we back in the 80s and 90s.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. What would, if you could modernize 2 things in the government over the next 5 years, whether it's infrastructure, digital services, or public administration, what would Denari Rowe like to push his government to focus on?
I think we should digitize the entire government system. There's no way, like you say, in this 21st century, being a technology specialist, that everything in at the click of a drop. What the AFNM, I think, are doing now, and under the leadership, under leader Honorable Michael Pintard, he has extended an invitation far and beyond just FNMs alike, but special group interests of people in their relative fields. And we had our shadow ministry working group meetings that were speaking to issues like this. And one of the things I think needs to happen, and I think we have recommended, is digitize the system. Everything could be tied together. So whether it's your NIB, your passport, your driver's license, that could be your one-stop shop, your business license. We think everything could come on that one platform and make it happen. That way you could lessen the interact of the face-to-face bribe. Then that helps with the corruption that we face, having the tip over the counter and this one pushing this one and this one. Right. And like I had a call earlier, I agree with him where he talked about not wanting to go through other people or having to know someone. If we keep having to know someone to get something done, when would the average Bahamian be able to just go to a system, apply, and get something? That's where we need to get. If we set up a digital system, it's only a thing of educating the masses that you go through this process, you apply, whether it's you bidding for a particular contract or you applying online for something, you go through the process and the system greets you with a platform, send your information, your system gives you the approval, and then you go from there. You shouldn't have to know this one or call this one, or this one is a PLP, and this one, know this one, so this is how you get straight. Because if it stays at that, then how would it trickle down to the average Bahamian? And so digitization also makes it fair for every single Bahamian to have a right to the same service, whether you connected or not, that any individual would get. And so for me, I would push that we digitize the entire public service, have training. We could spend 60+ million on traveling, $1 million on one trip. We could spend 10 million on BMW. We could spend 400 million on consultants. We could spend 200 million to bring back retirees and stuff like that. Let's train our people, train the public service, train our workers, get them in the modern era, BTVI and university, train the people. Let's make them well equipped for the system. So don't tell me it can't wait, because we have money for everything else. Except training and prioritizing the needs of the Bahamian people. So if we invest in our people, give them the opportunities to enhance themselves and better themselves, we could set up systems where it flows. And the bureaucracy, it speeds up. There's no way we could have a click of a button. You got to be waiting 2 and 3 days for one business license or one renewal and stuff like that in this day and time when these things could be at the click of a draw. There's no way the minister saying you can't access a document because it's in a PDF format and you want it in Microsoft Word. Come on, man. Really, I know it's funny. I know people laughing, but like come on, man.
If you don't cry, laugh and cry.
Because if you don't laugh, you can cry. Because what you mean a document in PDF form, you wanted it in the Word form. That's why you couldn't deal with the people. So you mean to tell me nobody in the ministry could have said, listen, convert PDF to Word?
And I could do that.
That's literally you type in I love PDF. Or you could go convert PDF to Word on Google, pull the file from there, and bam, you got a Word document. So what are you telling me?
True.
But these are the type of issues we facing and people justifying and you have political people with blinders on and defending that foolishness that it has to stop, man. When we could get serious as a country, there's so much more that we could be doing and it's available to us, but we are being colorblind. And so digitization carries us forward. It moves things faster along. It gives you greater transparency. It's more accountability. And all of this back and forth, backdoor dealing and corruption, it definitely lessens the chances of that. And definitely it makes it more fair for Bahamians to have access just to a fair system. Like the caller say, to be able to benefit, whether they PLP, FM, COI, DNA, whatever they are, they could benefit because the system is the same for everybody.
Amen. Caller on the air, how you doing?
Hey, Pearlie.
Pearlie L, how are you? Long time no hear.
Right here, and good day to your young guest.
Good afternoon. Hello.
You know, I like what you're talking about, digitizing the system. So what can we do now today to fix the system that they have? Because my daughter is enrolled in a program at BTVI, and every other day they have a problem with the system. I'm at the point where I'm ready to complain because when you see time for exam, and she paid a lot for this class, and they given one class per week, and what's supposed to be 3 hours is only for an hour some days, 2, maybe hour and a half, thereabouts, but you're being paid to do this class for 3 hours as an instructor. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
What can they do now to assist the system that they have today? Is there anything they can do with that? Because making a system complete without fixing what they have now, ain't you compiling problem on problem?
Yeah. That's a good question. What I would say to that is some services I wouldn't say that everything isn't not digital. So some services is digitized right now, but like to the caller's point, I think that's where two things happen. You got to go to training, and then it goes to accountability. Because if the system there that currently not exists, then it goes to who's in charge of the system. How is the system setting up? If you have consistent failures, who is monitoring the network to see why the system is dropping, what are the challenges, and who is troubleshooting it? So it goes to accountability now in terms of these government services where digitization exists. Who is manning the system and who is being held accountable? Because if you, like you say, if you pay in for a cost and you pay in for a service, you expect to get productivity. And so when you end up getting productivity from a service that you're giving or are supposed to be getting, then that's an issue. And that's an accountability issue because it ain't for the lack of the system. It's okay, how is the system being managed? Are they able to produce and say these are the faults? And so as an IT specialist, these are some of the things off the top of my head that I could tell you should be happening. They should troubleshoot properly. The network actually sometimes system gives you errors to what the system error is or what the challenge is. So the specialist who is involved with the system should be able to pick up that error and look at the issue, troubleshoot and identify the issue and come up with a resolve. So that comes to accountability issue with the current system now, because if it is digitized, then it's who is doing what and why they are not addressing it.
I wanted to add one more thing before I go.
Yes, ma'am.
What about online classes? Because it seems a little difficult to find proper online classes in this country. Because, you know, she's still feeling well and she can't sit in a classroom setting because, you know, being pregnant and stuff, your upset stomach and all these other things. And I take forever to find a proper online class for her.
Yeah.
So we need to look more into getting some online classes together for this country too.
You mean through UB and BTVI? You're talking between UB and VDI and other agencies like that?
Yes, and any other place, any other school in the country, if they can do some online classes, that would be great.
All right.
Yeah, well, I think, I agree with the caller. I think
Thank you, Burley, yeah.
COVID did tell us that we have to look at potentially online learning. There are several online platforms across the internet now that she could get free education on, and I just pay for the certificates. You have several of them she could search up online.
Okay.
But here in the Bahamas, to this government, I see they're touting this upskill, something that they did an online class or portal or something. I haven't checked it out, so I can't speak to how it works or how it functions. But I think that's supposed to be a free online something she could check out as well. But I'm not on so specific of the details of it.
Fair
but
enough.
definitely online learning is something that is critical. It is pivotal. But she could Google some outside of the country platform to enhance herself, definitely. But from our front, that's something we could establish as well. There's no reason we can't do it, but like I said, it just goes to managing it, understanding it, who is responsible for the network, because accountability have to exist. You have to, the person in charge have to know what it is that they're doing. So it's one thing to have it digitized. Who is managing the system? Do they have an in-depth understanding of it? And are they being held accountable for it? And I think that's a lot of issues that we have now in government services. Anything goes, and accountability at the top is not happening. And so the small man feel the pinch when things are not working well.
I got you. Call you on the air. How you doing?
Yes, Mr. Roll, and you, Pearlie, C. Allen Johnson.
Hey, C. Allen. How you doing, my
Let
brother?
me answer the lady question. If you want to guarantee the future, you must elect people capable of building it, not imagining it, building it. So here's what she needs to do, and her daughter. Go register to vote. Have your daughter register to vote. You find 5 friends, she finds 5 friends, and make sure, verify they vote, and then have them duplicate it the same, and make sure they vote FN. Okay? See, so, because what happens is where Roll just spoke about the online program. The weakness of that program, it's just a program. There is no structure to which you put people in. So you saturate particular things. But in the FNM, you can be rest assured, we understand the various economic models and what has to be built. See, if you don't know what to build, you just tell people go get certification and then try to place them. But if you know what is to be built, then you can actually direct the people to what they need to do in preparation for that system when it's built. Yes. And so you've seen the people had 5 years. Go read their blueprint for change, the 450 promises. Listen to the speech from the Troon. The first one, 150 promises. The second one, 125 promises. And see that you have 800 or more promises, not counting the one made from standing up. And probably 80% of them has not been fulfilled. And these things that needs to be that could have been fulfilled is the low-hanging fruits of the 21st century. And the simple question you have to ask yourself when you go in the booth: if these people knew what to do, why didn't they do it?
Yes, sir.
And so you would have to assume if they didn't do it in 4.5 years, what will they do with another 5? These are simple questions.
Yeah.
And so I simply say, register to vote, take 5 people with you, encourage 5 other people, and tell them, vote for the future that you know that you will participate in building, not for the dreams. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you for that call. That's a good
Just
point.
before we're almost out of time, so I'm going to give you 1 minute to tell us, outside of looking at the drainage problem and the flooding problem in Pinewood, what does Denari Road bring to Pinewood to make Pinewood a better constituency, a better neighborhood, a better community?
Well, like I said, I'm a young, innovative leader, attentive to detail, result-oriented. So if I'm not shaking and moving, if I'm not better than the day I was before, I don't feel good. So they get a amount of action. And I have a 5-point pillar plan, and it's called the Pinewood Action Plan. And I call it ACE. So like you said, I'm the first year, so I feel like a winner. I don't want to ace this test.
Hey, okay.
So action, change, empowerment. And so the pillars is youth development, community development, crime prevention, elderly care, and entrepreneurship support. So those are the 5 pillars from action, change, empowerment through those 5 pillars that I would bring to the Pinewood community. So outside of the drainage issues, the main issue, crime is a high issue in Pinewood as well. We're having a prayer and praise breakfast this Saturday in conjunction with every single church in Pinewood. This Saturday morning, 7:30 a.m. to 9. So feel free to join us on the main Pinewood Park, Isaiah Taylor Park. And then on Monday, when I talk about youth development, I'm going to be playing basketball, another meet and greet on Monday with the young fellas out on the park as well, starting at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
And so youth development, we're going to have sporting clubs, we're going to have culture clubs, we're going to have the Pinewood Festival, we're going to have the jamborees. So we're going to bring a lot of action, and then we're going to bring the community together. And so everything in my goal is, even with entrepreneurs, that every entrepreneur, I will have a newsletter that shows and empowers the businesses so neighbors will be supporting neighbors. So my goal in Pinewood is to bring the community together, have us to live as one through my leadership, reaching every person, where, no matter what their political divide is, and seeing how we could work together to make Pinewood one. And I call people like going for to be the envy, you know, I call people who want to be the best. I want to be like Mother Sick, but I want to be like Pinewood. I want to be like Roll. And so I tell them people, let's roll to the polls and through the action plan and those 5 pillars. I want to bring the community together and see Pinewood thrive.
Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure to be here.
It's good to have you here. I'm so glad. When I run through some more, I'm going to call you back.
Definitely.
Hopefully, I'll call you back as the member of parliament.
Oh, boy. Speaking
I'm speaking it for you.
Jesus, thank you.
Because
brother.
you're, and there's nothing to do whether you're PLP or FNM. This is about the ideas that Denari Road is bringing to the people.
Yes.
The passion you're showing and the love you show for the community.
Yes.
And that I admire in you. And that's why I wanted you to be my first
Thank you, man.
political interview, and hopefully we'll get other FNMs, PLPs, and COIs to come on with me on a Thursday, and we can talk about what their plans are.
That's what it's all about. Earl. Anyone, let them share their plans and let the people feel if they're serious or not. But I know the Nairo is here to work for you, and not the few Pinewood. Let's roll to the polls.
Thank you so much. This is Pearly on Guardian Radio 96.9, Talking Heads Thursday. When we get back, we can talk about some baseball, we can talk about some basketball, and we're going to honor one of the greatest college football coaches who passed, Lou Holtz, from my favorite football team, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. May he rest in peace. We'll be back right after the news, talking sports. See you in a minute.
With my baby, every boy in the party, drinking cola and Bacardi. If you're not feeling me, put your hand in the air. I say yeah, jamming, having a party with jamming, breaking big party with jamming. I say we jamming.
Craving something bold, fresh, and unforgettable? Tropical Gyros is your flavor-packed escape, a Carib-Greek fusion born right here in Nassau. From juicy grilled salmon, chicken, and pork gyros to loaded bowls, fresh salads, wings, and more. There's something for every craving. Find Tropical Gyros at any of their locations, JFK Plaza, Rosetta Street, Port Lucaya Freeport, or their franchise spots on Prince Charles Drive, Soldier Road West, Delaport, and Carmichael Road. Tropical Gyros, not just good food, it's an experience.
Struggling to find your financial rhythm? Make that move to Fidelity and let us help you orchestrate your financial goals into perfect harmony with free financial coaching sessions. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Refined style with elegant taste. The fine threads is your place. If you want those slacks hemmed or just taking the waist, then fine threads is your place. If you wanna look suave and debonair everywhere you go, like you're supposed to be in a video, wanna step out and look great, then fine threads is your place. Refined style with elegant taste, then fine threads is your place. Is your place. Is your place.
The fried chicken experts are back with a brand new way to enjoy your favorite sandwich. Introducing the Wrap Star. Crunch into the Wrap Star, full of flavor and wrapped in a warm grilled tortilla for that perfect crunchy bite. A classic made modern that's crunchy, melty, and grilled to perfection for all the journeys of your day. KFC, it's finger licking good.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Talking Heads with Naughty and MJ is brought to you by The Armory Company, Assurance Home Care, Burger King, Easy Car Sales, Fine Threads, Island Luck, John's Department Store, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, Prince Masters, and Tropical Gyros.
And welcome back to our Talking Heads Thursday, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Time to talk sports. So good to be back here with you guys. So good. And thank you to my guests who just left the studio, Denari Roll. Interesting conversation. And that's the kind of conversation I want to have. I want to find out who you are as a politician or as a candidate, I should say, and what is it you want to do. So the invitation is open to any PLP candidate, any COI candidate, any F&M candidate, any independent, any other candidate who wants to come and talk. You're more than welcome. Let's sit down and let's have a conversation. And let's talk about what your plans are and why you want to be in politics and why you think you could be a good member of parliament. All right? Cool. All right, let's go right to it. Today in sports history. Today's Thursday, March 5th, 2026. And on this day in sports, in 1864, in England, Oxford and Cambridge met for the first time in track and field competition. In 1924, Frank Caruana of Buffalo, New York, became the first bowler to roll 2 perfect games in a row. In 1964, the NFL teams purchased Ed Sable's Blair Motion Pictures, which was renamed NFL Films. In 1985, Mike Bossy of the New York Islanders became the first NHL National Hockey League player to score 50 goals in 8 consecutive seasons. In 1991, Reggie Miller of Indiana began his NBA free throw streak of 52 games. In 1993, sprinter Ben Johnson was banned from racing for life by the Amateur Athletic Association for testing positive for banned performance-enhancing substance for a second time. In 1994, Michael Adams of the Washington Bullets became the 3rd player in NBA history to get 900 career three-point field goals. In 1995, Dennis Rodman of the Chicago Bulls was suspended by the NFL for 1 game after deliberately elbowing Milwaukee Joe Wolf. And in 1996, the Dallas Mavericks attempted 49 three-pointers for the 5th straight game. So I feel like everybody's trying to take 49 three-pointers in the game now. Sports quote of the day. When he says, sit down, I don't even bother to look for a chair. Max McGee, Green Bay Packers receiver on Coach Lombardi. That's so interesting. That is so interesting. Let's see what's on the sports page. If I can find the sports page, and it's had it in front of me a second ago. Here we go. What's on the home front? What's going on? Raptors, Knights take lead on day 1. Athletes break meet records and qualify for Carifta. Carifta trial set for March 20th to the 22nd. And Jazz homers for Great Britain in their final scrimmage game. Way to go, Jazz. That's the GSSA Track and Field Championships going on right now. So that's yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And at the end of the day, we will know who the government's school champions are. And then on Monday, the BAISS Track and Field Championships will begin Monday the 9th, Tuesday the 10th, and it will finish on Wednesday the 11th. And we know what's going on. We know it's SAC against QC. Who will prevail this year? Will it be the QC Comets? I think they're defending champs, right? I think they must get the 3 or the 30-something years. Anyway, the defending champs, and he gets an Augustine Scholars who coming back. They say they coming for their things. They coming to defend their legacy. They coming to defend their track and field prowess. So let's see what happens starting Monday. Let's see what goes on today with the government school champions, and let's see what happens Monday with the private school championship. This is the exciting track and field time for high school track and field. The government schools going this weekend. You get your Monday, Saturday, Sunday rest, and Monday the private schools jump right at it. And the great schools of St. Augustine's College and QC, St. John's, St. Andrews, St. Anne's, and all the others, Prince Will, and I should start calling the names then and say, you ain't called my school name. But they all going to be on the track on Monday to see who is the best private high school track and field championships. Pearlie can be right there. in my red shirt, in my sock shirt, in my sock hat, with my sock mug, with my sock towel, shouting, "Go Big Red!" So we'll see what happens. But we want to wish, we want, and this is the one thing that I always call for. Hope that there's no injuries, no disqualifications. It's a straight up track and field, so we can see who the champions are. So when Sock win, when whoever wins, Miss Medusa, you don't like that, eh? Whoever wins, it'll be some good fun and all that. So I look forward to it. And these great young athletes that are performing this weekend now, these 3 days now, and who will be performing next week. And people, we got some great athletes in high school in both the government schools and the private schools. So if you can, get out there and support them tomorrow. I think they're about finished for the day. Get out there tomorrow and support them. And Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays, take your lunch hour and dash out there and support those kids, because those kids look for the support. They love to know you out there, and they know that you're going to be cheering them on, and I look forward to seeing that. Okay? Cool. That's Cossack. I know Naughty cringing right now. I know he's cringing, but I'm sorry about that. So I woke up this morning, and the first thing that I normally do is I turn on ESPN, being the sports fanatic that I am. And it hurt my heart to see that one of the greatest college football coaches of all time took Notre Dame to a national championship, went to South Carolina, turned that program around, and today we mourn the death of the great Lou Holtz. Okay, a football genius, a college football genius, to be more specific. He passed. I think he was 80. I don't want to say the wrong day. I want to say 89. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. And too many times I try to remember these things off the top of my head. But we've lost a football mind, and many times the now coach of Notre Dame, Freeman, has spoken to him a lot of times and gotten a lot of guidance from him. And I've always liked to listen to his analysis of the sport, what he thinks about it, and he's always on point. He's always on point. He was always on point. So they've lost a great coach. They've lost a great football mind. He was 89, yes, a legend. All right, he won his national championship in 1980. I think it's 88 with Notre Dame, and he's done some great things in football out there. So let's remember Lou Holtz as football fans, and lost a great guy. So the baseball World Baseball Classic started last night at 10 o'clock actually, because they're playing all over the place, and I think they had. I trying to remember who played last night, because I ain't gonna lie, I watch it because it came on at 10 o'clock. I think it was if not my bed, halfway sleep. But you had a Chinese Taipei against Australia last night, and Australia beat them 3-0. It was I don't know many of the players. All right, there's a couple of home runs for Australia that they lead them. Couple of major league players they got, a couple of minor league players they got. So Australia beat Chinese Taipei 3-0 yesterday. Games continue today. Now, spring training is still going on for a lot of teams. Like the Dodgers beating up on the Cincinnati Reds right now, but a lot of players who didn't go to the World Baseball Classic, some minor league players, Miguel Rojas, Freddie Freeman, who didn't go to the World Baseball Classic, who decided they wanted to stay and get in shape for the regular season, have not gone there. So then we've had a game already for the day. Korea beat Czechia 11-4. Who played for Korea? I don't even know. I'm trying to see if there's anybody that I know who's out of the majors. Ha-Sung Kim ground. He's drove in a run today. Ha-Sung Kim with the Dodgers is playing for Korea, so they won their first game 11-4. The next game is going to be at 10 o'clock tonight. Australia is going to play Czechia again, and then it'll really get into it tomorrow. With a lot of more games playing tomorrow. I just want to give you the rundown quick for those of you who are interested. I know not many people really don't care. But you get Japan, the Chinese Taipei, Cuba, and Panama. That should be a really good game. The Netherlands and Venezuela should be a pretty decent game. The Bahamians play tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We got a number of players, including Jazz Chisholm and Lucius Fox, who are on the Great Britain team. And they play Mexico tomorrow at 1 p.m. We've got Puerto Rico, who's playing Colombia tomorrow. That should be a pretty decent game. Puerto Rico should win that. Nicaragua playing the Dominican Republic. Dominicans should run over them. Then at 8 o'clock tomorrow night, you've got United States and Brazil. So that should be a good game to look at. Now I'm trying to figure out where the Bahamians are playing. It doesn't say where they're playing. They don't give you the details of where they're playing, and I'll find that out for you. But so we've got 5 players and I think 2 coaches that are on the Great Britain team. So if you got some time, it should be online somewhere. ESPN may be carrying it. Somebody's carrying it. So the Bahamas, Great Britain / Bahamas, and Pool B. So that should be some fun to watch. We usually be very competitive. And when I say we, the Bahamian players playing for Great Britain makes the Great Britain team pretty competitive. They lack pitching, and that has always been their issue. They will stay with score runs. The starting pitching will do decent, enough to hold the other players, but then we're lacking the Edwin Diaz type closer. The pitching depth that will keep them in most games. So that's where Great Britain goes by. A lot of people ask why the Bahamas is not in it, and that's the question I've asked too. But I think, and if somebody knows me and different could correct me, we don't participate in enough tournaments to qualify. So I think we need to start participating and doing better in some tournaments so that we can qualify a team in this region. And it's tough in this region because you got the United States, you got Puerto Rico, you got Cuba, you got the Dominican Republic, you got the powerhouses. So if you take away Japan, you've got the best teams in the world in this region. Coming out of the Dominican Republic, one of the best teams. The Cubans, very good team. The United States, excellent team. Puerto Rico has good team. Venezuela putting out a good team. So when you look at it like that, we've got really good teams in the region that we have to compete against. And outside of Japan, which is from Far East, the winner of this World Baseball Classic is going to come out of this region if it's not Japan. Okay, it's going to be the Americans or the Dominicans, or the Japanese. But I think if Japan don't repeat as champion, which they have a very good chance of doing, they have an excellent team. They have a really good team, then I look for the Americans. All right, because they got a loaded pitching staff. They got probably the best pitching staff in the World Baseball Classic. You get Skeens, you get Scuba, all right, you get Kershaw. So you got some really, really, really good pitchers for the Americans that are the top pitchers in Major League Baseball. So that's going to be an exciting thing to look at. People, if you sit down and take your time and watch it, you'll see some extraordinary baseball, and that's one of my favorite sports outside of football. I sit down and watch baseball every night. I'm even watching spring season games, all right, because they usually play 3 o'clock in the day, but the replay comes on late at night. So when I get home, I'd sit down and I'll watch the spring season game just to learn the young players coming up. That's basically why I watch it, to see who's going to be the future Dodgers stars. I watched the Dodgers play the Mexicans yesterday. They're playing Cincinnati today. The future Cincinnati and the Bahamas used to have a whole lot of Cincinnati Red fans in this country, especially when Ed, Ambry, and Bristol played for them. With Pete Rose and Johnny Bench and all those who played. Bahamians were huge Cincinnati Red fans. Really always been a Dodger, always. Coming up next week will be NFL's the free agency starts on the 13th, I think, on Monday. But they call it the meddling. The meddling phase comes where you can start talking to people ahead of free agency. So if you know that a certain player is going to be a free agent, you can start talking to him and feeling him out and make him an offer. So on Friday, when the 13th, when free agency starts, you can almost sign him that same day or the next day. So I call it the meddling, but it's like the negotiations period starts on Monday. And so teams will start talking, so you'll hear a lot more coming up. I see The Pats cut the wide receiver Diggs, or announced that they will be cutting him. So that's going to be something you can watch for. I see the 49ers hire Matt, ex-Cowboys defensive coordinator, Matt Eberflus, to be the assistant head coach of defense. So somebody must see something. The Cowboys didn't see anything, but somebody see something in him. DJ Moore was traded from the Bears to the Bills. I don't know, boy. That's a pickup for the Bills. By the way, I see what I miss? Oh yeah, the kid out of Ole Miss, Trinidad Chamberlain, who been in college like probably 30 years now. Who's been in college I think 6 years. And with COVID, I think they got an additional year. That he got hurt a year, so you can get an additional year. He had applied to play one more year, and the NCAA turned him down. They denied his time and said that you can't play anymore. He took it to court, and the court ruled in his favor and says he can play one more year. So now the NCAA is appealing that. I don't know why they're fighting this so hard. I really don't understand it, because I see some other players who should not have gotten an additional year and was given that additional year. So I don't know why, what's going on with that. Another signing, I see the Texas Rangers sign Andrew McCutchen. Andrew McCutchen, probably the oldest guy in baseball. And he's been a Pittsburgh Pirate 2 or 3 separate times in his career. And hopefully he'll be I think he could be a Hall of Famer. And hopefully if he does, he'll go in as a Pittsburgh Pirate. But the Pirates just listen, we're rebuilding, we got a young player, we can send you home. But Texas grabbed him up. And while he's not the McCutchen of 5-10 years ago, he still brings great leadership in the locker room and great leadership in the dugout. And he should be a good pickup for the Texas to bring some veteran leadership to that Texas Rangers team. So we look forward to seeing that. What's going on with him? I don't think there's any other signings. The Seattle Super Bowl champions raised their banner yesterday, so they had a big celebration for that. Stephon Diggs is the one who got cut from the Patriots decided to let go, and I don't know who will pick him up, but we'll see what happens. Caller, you on the air. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Right there, brother.
You know what that's?
No.
Well, mother.
Yes, Skiller. What's happening?
Listen to you every day.
What's happening, my brother?
Yeah, no, I called you, right? Listen to me. Concerning the Dolphins, right?
Uh-huh.
You have any idea of how? I know they done bypass what he named Kyrie.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Now, according to you, that's what I look at. We need at least 2 wide receivers. I hear that's what they're looking at.
You mean for the draft?
Huh?
You mean for the draft?
Well, if you look at the draft.
No, they're not going to draft a wide receiver. They'll probably draft a wide receiver late down, but not early. They can take a cornerback probably.
And the draft, I look at their first thing, according to what Google showed me.
Uh-huh.
They ain't getting no wide receivers.
No. Well, we've got Waddle, who's under contract, who ownership. They've got Washington, who's another young wide receiver, but the Dolphins need a big body wide receiver.
That's what I said. Now they was looking at a wide receiver. One was from what the thing of name? What the damn name? What thing of beat? What they was a champion and get knocked out?
Oh, you mean
Who Miami did beat? Who Miami did knock out?
Miami knocked nobody out the playoffs. The Miami Hurricanes. You mean the wide receiver out of Indiana?
Not Indiana.
The wide receiver out of Miami.
No, the wide receiver, the one with Miami knocked out.
Oh, who Miami beat? I can't remember.
What they beat? Ohio State.
Ohio State? Yeah.
Number one team. Right?
Yeah.
They looking at one wide receiver from him, one big wide receiver.
He could be gone by the time Miami pick. Miami's not going to pick a wide receiver at number 11 in the first pick. They're not going to do that.
That wouldn't be the first pick, they say.
And
that in the third. I think that was the third round.
Ohio State is wide receiverville. They breed wide receivers in Ohio State. So the top 2 wide receivers going to be gone. One definitely be gone in the top 10, and the second one could be gone in the top 10 as well. Okay. I don't see Miami taking him right away. There's some other wide receivers out there Miami may be looking at, but I don't see it being him from. I don't.
Wide receivers like 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah, they need a 6'2", 6'3" wide receiver, a big body. Yeah, they do.
But they say they was looking at.
The Miami needs edge rusher. They need a tight end.
I'm going to tell you.
They need a cornerback. They need offensive lineman.
Listen, this is what they looking at. In the first round,
Could be.
Pick,
Uh-huh.
they're looking at one of the fella. I think he's from. I believe they say he's from a same team. You know.
You mean a cornerback?
No. Tingham.
Or offensive lineman?
Defensive lineman.
Oh, they're looking at offensive lineman out of Miami, actually.
And nobody's looking at the one from Tingham. Ohio State. I think it's Ohio State or Indiana. One of them teams where they play in the Tingham.
There's that possibility. I don't see them taking off, and it won't shock me if they take him number one, but I don't see them taking a offensive lineman. I see them going either offensive line, cornerback.
I tell you that again, behind the defensive line, just like you say, and then they're looking at a running, a corner. And the corner they're looking at, that's for the second round.
Let me tell you what I think Miami should do. Because they have so many holes to plug, take the very best player available at number 11. Whether he be a cornerback, offensive lineman, linebacker, edge rusher, safety, take the very best player available because you're trying to build a team now, and you need the ability because you're not going to win more than 5-6 games next year. So you need to get some good young players.
According to what I heard, they're looking at edge rusher.
That's a possibility. That's a need.
They're looking at a corner.
And that's another need.
And then I think they get 2 picks in the third round.
Yes, they do. Yes.
Right. So they're looking in that area. They're looking at another edge runner on offensive line.
Yes, you're pretty much on point, Skeller. You're pretty much on point.
And then in the fourth round, they're looking for a quarterback.
That's a possibility.
And the quarterback is the fella. I forget what the team name.
You don't mean they're looking at a kid from Arkansas. They're looking at a kid from Alabama, but I don't think he'll be there. I don't think he'll be there.
No, is there a name? I ain't too familiar with that team and all.
Okay.
But that's who they're looking at.
All right.
One quarterback.
Okay.
For quarterback.
All right.
In the fourth round.
All right.
And then in the fifth, 6th, and 7th,
uh-huh.
they get with best available.
Okay.
Wide receivers and
O-line and O-line. Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's how they're looking at it moving forward.
All right, it's good.
But okay, now we get that on the side. Come on, some intake on this defensive coordinator.
He, I don't know very much about him. And ask me this again tomorrow. All right.
No, but I can tell you where he came from.
Okay.
They say he came from Green Bay.
Yes, yeah. A lot of
And then
half the coaching staff come from Green Bay.
From Green Bay, he was with one other hot team with a hot defense too. What a damn name! I forget what a damn name.
You know more than me right now.
Huh?
You know more than me right now.
No, well, man, you get what do you name? What do you call it? AI.
AI, yeah. No, I'll be honest with you. I've been concentrating on baseball because getting into the regular season.
Google is Kimmy and Google is work with AI.
But there's an app. I'll tell you, there's an app you can put called Bleacher Report.
Huh?
There's an app called Bleacher, BLEACHER, Bleacher Report. Pull that up. That gives you everything from every sport you want to. Every once the news drop, 30 seconds later, right on there.
I don't know what BTC do with my phone, right? But for my give them my phone and get it back early. Exactly what you say just now. I can get all the information for any kind of sports.
Okay.
Even wrestling and what else? And football. I'm not football. Boxing and all them things.
Super.
I can get them things at first.
Okay, all right.
I give my phone to BTC because it did crash.
And they fix it up for you.
And man, they fix me up because that's why I can give you that type of information there. The only kind of information now I hear you was talking about the Lakers Saturday.
You got to go a little faster. I got a couple other callers. But go ahead.
Really, we qualify to be contenders.
Not that team that don't play defense.
One problem the Lakers have
LeBron
right now.
James.
Huh?
LeBron James. You say one problem. Oh, that ain't the problem, huh?
No. name.
Oh.
Aiden. Once he be consistent.
Yeah. If he consistent, we have a lot better team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He is the only hindrance right now, and us going all the way. If you see he be consistent,
I know about that, but we'll hope. We'll see.
man, come on, put
We'll see. You optimistic, and I love you for that, brother. I love you for that, but I don't think the Lakers as a championship team this year.
Charles Barkley and Shaq and Kenny say, if Aiden could go 2010, Lakers could go all the way.
Boy, I got to see
He
that.
could be consistent with 2010.
Boy, if you do that, I'll be happy. I'll be
That's all he
ecstatic.
got to do is be consistent, and I agree with that.
Yeah.
And we could go all the way because he's playing good D.
I know, but I think that's the weakness right now. He's not playing the kind of D I expect him to play.
Like 2 blocks a game, eh?
Yeah, not consistent though. If he could play consistent defense, I'm not worrying about the scoring so much because he can give me double every night. If he could be consistent on defense and rim protector, I think the Lakers could be a solid team.
I agree with you with that. I agree 100% with that. That's why they were saying once he consistent on both sides of the court, the Lakers could go far.
All right. Okay, let me take this next call. All right, brother. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Call you on the air. How you doing? You impatient with me, caller? So let's take off. Caller, you can call back. I do apologize for talking, but I haven't heard from Skilla for so long, so that took a little while. I do apologize. Call back, okay? We can take our first break. This is Pearly on the Talking Heads Thursday here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. When we get back, talk some more sports, and we get into some other things. We'll be right back.
Nassau, get ready for the new and bold Barbecue Crispy King at Burger King. 2 100% flame grilled patties stacked with that irresistible onion crunch you love, smoky barbecue sauce, crisp bacon, and melted cheddar, all on a buttery brioche bun. Crunch, bacon, cheese, flame grilled flavor. Swing by any of Burger King's 6 Nassau locations and taste the new Barbecue Crispy King today. Burger King Nassau, where taste is on fire.
Join the Ultra family. Online signups are here, and it's ultra fast. Start winning from your phone. Sign up online in minutes and jump straight into the action at ultragames.com. And right now, when you sign up online, you're entered for a chance to win a car. That's right, a car.
Okay.
No long lines, no stress. Just click, sign up, and start playing. Ultra Games. Unleash your luck. Must be 18 or older. Ultra Games reminds you it's only a game. Please game responsibly.
Tech giving you trouble? For 85 years, the Armory Company has been fixing it. Your parents trusted us. Your grandparents trusted us. And today, you trust us too. Since 1941, we've been the Bahamas' trusted tech partner. From laptops and ink to access control and gate motors, we deliver reliable products backed by service that goes beyond the sale. Call 397-1600 or visit our updated showroom behind Wendy's on Mackey Street. The Armory Company, celebrating 85 years of serving you.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located at the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
And we're back. The Talking Heads Thursday here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. After listening to Skillaboo, and he talked about the Lakers, our final 15 is going to be interesting. With from Stephen A. Smith talking, can the Lakers prove that they're contenders? And I think you'll find that kind of interesting. Call you on the air. How you doing?
Spurley, man, listen.
Yes,
I
Mr.
have-
Yankee.
I have
Yes, Mr.
called
Yankee.
back,
Yes,
man.
Mr. I do apologize, Mr. Yankee. What's happening?
You owe me you owe me $5.
Okay, put that on my bill. What's
yeah,
happening?
well, you know what I called to talk about. Well, baseball classic.
Yeah, what you think?
You know, the leader of that team, the captain.
It's your Yankee Jazz
The
Chisholm.
Yankees greatest,
Yeah.
Aaron Judge.
Yes. Oh, Aaron, I thought you could say Jazz Chisholm. Oh, you talking about the United States team. Okay.
I talking about the World Baseball Classic.
U.S. team, yeah.
I expect the U.S. to pull that off. I mean, they can be challenged, but I think they would win that hands down.
You know, I think I think Japan has some great hitting, but I think the United States pitching is going to be a lot better. And if the pitching holds up, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, they bring out they take out all the stuff. Man.
Oh, they got all the big guns. Scuba, Skins. They got Kershaw and all.
That level.
Yeah,
because they bring out everybody.
yeah.
Every superstar is on that team.
Yeah, but don't sleep on the Dominican Republic now.
But
Dominican Republic got a good team.
I just tell them that the United States should win.
And any team Otani on, you can't sleep on either.
Yeah, no, the Japanese are going to be good at it.
You know, it was like three years ago.
Yeah, they can be a team to reckon
Yeah,
with.
3 years ago it was
ain't come easy.
That's true. And the classic matchup 3 years ago is when Otani struck out Trout.
They won that couple of years straight back to back.
And Otani struck out Trout, Mike Trout, in that game. That was a great pitcher battle duel. It was wonderful to watch.
So none of them teams is to be taken like it. But I think at the end of the day, the United States will pull it off.
Well, we'll see what happens. Yeah, so
well,
how your Yankees coming along? You got one good young prospect.
I was going to call you last week because I wanted to talk about Josh Chisholm. I know he's playing for Britain.
Yeah, for Great Britain. Yeah,
But if he could accomplish what he said, because he want to go 50-50, I wouldn't advise him to try to think about them kind of numbers. Now, the stolen base is not an issue. I know he can steal more than 50 bases.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about 50 home runs, that's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, but he had 30 easy last year.
Yeah, he had 31 last year.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that 50 home runs in a season is not no easy accomplishment.
No, it's not.
Right now, like I said, Aaron Judge might do that for another 2-3 years, and he would almost be in a class by himself.
No, wait, hold on. Slow your roll. Hold on. Slow your roll. Hold on. What happened to the great Shohei Ohtani? What you talking?
Pardon me?
You saying, Judd, what happened to the great Shohei Ohtani? No. That's the 50-50 man. That's the 50-50 man. That's the 50. So you really? All right. Let's have this conversation. See, you gonna start something here. You really think that Aaron Judd is a better ball player than Shohei Ohtani?
The only thing Ohtani is doing different from Judge right now is his percent. That's it. What else?
What you mean? What else? I mean, what you mean?
He bought the title, right? But being 4, he bought a 381 this year, 5 last year. He won the Barton Crown. He won 53 home runs.
Okay.
Which was some of the left. He has the record for 62 in one single season. What are you talking about?
And what else? What about stolen? What stolen bases?
What the hell are you talking about?
Stolen bases. Run scored.
You don't have on his resume now the World Series ring. That's it.
How many Ohtani got?
He got 2. He just happens to be fortunate at that time. He shouldn't even win in 24. The Yankees literally give you guys that World Series. I'm still angry with them for that.
They give us the World Series.
Yeah, we give you all them World Series. Then you're going to commit 5 errors in one inning. You literally give away.
That's one game. What happened to the other 3? We won.
No, all of the games, right? The all-place baseman.
Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman. Don't mix it up.
Because the first game we had locked down because Jazz had already given us the go-ahead run. We gone to test. We had the game locked down.
Okay.
And then only to come to bring a fella in, but they didn't know what the hell he doing. Give up a damn grand slam.
What you mean? That dude handcuffed the Dodgers. He handcuffed Freddie Freeman over the years.
Over 2 months, and they bring him. That's why the manager of that team could never get along. That was that's the worst decision I ever seen in my life.
I didn't think it was a bad decision.
How could I put you in a World Series game and you haven't pitched until you did?
Yeah, but he was there. That's what he's there for. Because remember now, you had some breaks. He was there now, and he is. Managers go by analytics.
In the first time we could have gone, we had Hill and many others. We had a lot of options in the past. We didn't have to go with them.
Yeah, but the analytics, which a lot of managers depend on now. A lot of managers depend on.
Analytics has its place. Right? Sometimes you have to go by your gut feeling.
But his gut might have tell him, hey, this is the time this dude has owned Freeman all these years. He's owned Freeman. Let's bring him in there. And he threw one bad pitch.
Man, a basis loaded, you bring a guy who hasn't pitched in 60 days. What kind of rationale could that be, though?
I got you.
I don't care what analytics you have. What rationale is there for that?
I got you.
But anyhow, I can let some more people get in because you had me out for maybe over half hour.
Man, don't say that, man. I ain't had you that long. You ain't had you that long. Mama, you want to do that to me on air? Eh? So let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question before you go. Are you saying the New York Yankees will win the American League East this year? And that's why I hear that from you now.
Yeah, the Yankees. Listen, we got some real prospects there. You got Spencer Jones. You got a lot of talent there, you know. Yankees gonna be and then barring no other injuries to our starters when they come back in end of May. Once we can stay competitive, the Yankees will be right there. That's all we gotta do, stay competitive. Because when Cole and them come back, that's a whole different ballgame.
All right.
I'm telling you.
All right, brother. We can see. All right. And you know, Mr. Yankee himself, I call him Mr. Yankee. He was a good friend of mine. Let's see what some of the texts say here. We got 2 texts. Hey, Pearly, hold on. Good day, Pearly. Could you explain to me, all right. But can you explain to me where the government won in the arbitration and the clarity on that? Well, they claim to win on the 7 of the 8 counter offers that the port brought up. The arbitrator showed in their favor. And Port says the government's main argument was $357 million, and they didn't get that. That's what they said. Now, how that operates, we'll have a discussion on that. And, you know, I leave that discussion to MJ and Naughty. MJ has done a lot of homework on that, and she talked a lot about that yesterday. And tomorrow, when they do the weekend review, Dexter, bring that back up to her. And I'm sure she is, based on her research and her homework, she will give you exactly what happened. And this is nice. Hey, Earl the Pearl, how y'all does tolerate ignorant people, bro? It does hurt my brain. That's why some of us do these shows and some don't. I believe in listening to everybody, and not everybody. It doesn't really make them ignorant. They just have a different opinion than you or I may have. Let's get into the picks right away because we got a couple of seconds here. And remember, there's going to be an interesting Stephen A. Smith Final 15 who's going to talk about could the Lakers, how the Lakers need to prove that they qualify for the playoffs. That's exactly what it says. Okay, let's get right into the NBA. Now, we don't have a lot of games. The Mavericks at Orlando Magic. Orlando is 7.5-point favorites. I'm going to go Orlando and the money line. The Jazz at the Washington Wizards. The Wizards are 4.5-point favorites. I'm going to take the Wizards and the points. The Brooklyn Nets at the Miami Heat. Miami is 12.5-point favorites. I don't trust the spread. I'll take the Heat for the win. The Golden State Warriors are the Houston Rockets. Rockets are 8.5 points. I like the Rockets and the points. Detroit Pistons are 3.5-point underdogs to the Spurs. I'm going to take the Spurs and the points tonight. The Raptors at the Minnesota Timberwolves, 4.5. I'll take the Timberwolves and the points tonight. The Chicago Bulls are 10.5-point underdogs to the Phoenix Suns. Ooh, boy. I'm going to take the Suns and the money line on that one. And finally, the New Orleans Pelicans. This is interesting. The Pelicans are 5.5-point favorites over the Kings. The Kings are the bottom 20 in points and in defense. I would take the Pelicans and the 5.5 points today. Zion can go off on them. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for the calls. Thank you for the texts. Thank you for just listening. I appreciate that so much. And thank you to Naughty and MJ for allowing me to do this today. And they'll be on tomorrow. And don't forget, Naughty, Statboy, Mega, Clint, and myself, Pressbox, Sunday, 11 to 1. Tune in where we'll talk everything sports, baseball, basketball, football, tennis, and golf. Take care. Enjoy your day. Be safe out there. I'm out.
Fried chicken experts are back with a brand new way to enjoy your favorite sandwich. Introducing the Wrap Star. Crunch into the Wrap Star, full of flavor and wrapped in a warm grilled tortilla for that perfect crunchy bite. A classic made modern that's crunchy, melty, and grilled to perfection for all the journeys of your day. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
For over half a century, Hongxi has been reserved only for heads of state and world leaders. It wasn't just a car, it was a privilege. Easy Car Sales is proud to bring that distinguished heritage to the Bahamas. A new era in luxury electric, rooted in absolute prestige. It's for the few who demand freedom from the gas pump and first-class craftsmanship. Visit Easy Car Sales to see if you're ready for a taste of royalty.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances, so come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Craving something bold, fresh, and unforgettable? Tropical Gyros is your flavor-packed escape. A Carib-Greek fusion born right here in Nassau. From juicy grilled salmon, chicken, and pork gyros to loaded bowls, fresh salads, wings, and more. There's something for every craving. Find Tropical Gyros at any of their locations, JFK Plaza, Rosetta Street, Port Lucaya Freeport, or their franchise spots on Prince Charles Drive, Soldier Road West, Delaport, and Carmichael Road. Tropical Gyros, not just good food, it's an experience.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
First Take. Notable NBA Finals contenders had a good day on Tuesday. The Cavaliers beat the Eastern Conference leading Pistons. The Cavs are now 8-1 when James Harden is on the court since trading for him back in February. Jalen Brunson had 26 points and 10 dimes as he led the Knicks to their 12th consecutive win against the Raptors. Karl Anthony Towns recorded his 100th double-double with the Knicks. And then the Spurs beat the Sixers. They're now 12-1 since February. The Spurs' West rivals Thunder beat the Bulls. Jared McCain led the team with 20 points, his second game leading the Thunder in scoring since being traded to them. The Thunder still lead the pack, though, as the favorite to win the NBA Finals, according to DraftKings Sportsbook, followed by the Nuggets and then the Spurs. We're West heavy here. Despite being the favorites to win the East, the Celtics have the fourth best odds to win the Finals as it stands right now. But which team in the entire NBA has the highest ceiling? Chiney Ogwumike, what do you think?
Before I go, please, Stephen A., keep the shirt on. I heard you. I heard that entire rant on the Pelicans. Respectfully, I work with Richard Jefferson, who always has his shirt unbuttoned all the way down to his belly button. We don't need that. We don't need that. I know you're in shape.
Girl. But I'm not saying it, Shanae. I think y'all missed it. They actually are preparing for me in the scene on General Hospital for it. I'm not talking about taking it on First Take. I'm like, it's a brick situation. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a brick situation. It's coming.
Wow.
It's coming.
Oh, you're doing it for the ratings. You're doing it for General Hospital and the ratings, and you got that summer bod already. All right, respect to you. Respect to you. Oh, my gosh, you're wildin'. Okay. Going back to the team that has the highest ceiling in the NBA. Everyone knows with SGA, you're so silly. Everyone knows with SGA, they're the team to beat. They're deep. They have a defense, and that guy is super dominant. I'm going to remove them from the equation, and I have the San Antonio Spurs really circled right now because they are just right now scratching the surface of their greatness, not only individually with this team being led by Victor Wembanyama, but also collectively. when you look at the record and the standings, and hopefully at the end of this you can see that, first with Victor Wembanyama, like this is a guy that can go out there and dominate the game in ways we have never seen before. Yesterday, I was watching the post game, and he said that we have the best team in the world. Now, mind you, we understand that that's not the reality just yet, but that's his mentality. That's his approach. Right during NBA All-Star here in Los Angeles, I played this man, Victor Wembanyama, in NBA 2K. And you know what he said to me before we said hi? We were friends from before. He said, "I'm gonna bust your ass. I'm gonna bust your ass." That's how competitive he is. And it's reflected in the standings, that belief, that mindset right there at number 2. That's crazy. That was a huge jump from where the Spurs were a couple years ago, now having the best group of young talent in the NBA. And then on top of it, I think they're top 3 in defense or 4 in defense. They have De'Aaron Fox, who's averaging like 20 points per game. They have Vassell. They have Castle. They have the balance on the outside. They need to make more three-point shots to keep the floor open for Victor. But I'm looking at the San Antonio Spurs as a team that has beat the Oklahoma City Thunder 4 times. You never know what you're going to get, but you do have the talent to go the distance and the young legs. So that's the squad that I have my eyes on.
Monica?
Sister girl, the pink is the pink, the face. You're doing your thing, my girl.
Yeah. Lip color, everything.
But, okay, so are we all agreeing to take OKC out of this? Is that what we're doing?
Please.
Yes. Yeah,
all
we
right.
can do that. We can do
Well,
that.
in the spirit of the transitive property that my sis just brought up in terms of OKC being able to knock off San Antonio, surprise, surprise, I actually think when you really look at it in terms of the way the New York Knicks have played as of late, they should be in this conversation. This is a team whose defensive rating continues to climb. They're well into the top 10. SA, hear me out. This offense is prolific. Now, the problem is, and the reason why your face looked like that, is because we have seen this pendulum swing too hard, right? In terms of their lows are super low. But if that group, to me, can find a level of consistency, I get that Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs are a real threat. I agree with Sinead's take on that end. But when I look at the matchup of these two, like this team potentially has what you need to guard on the perimeter when those guys are locked in, right? The 1-2 punch that has been so discussed in terms of Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson. You're talking about all-stars, you're talking about guys that have been effective. The thing is that it's so rare that you actually see the defense and the offense show up in its best form at the same time. But I actually think that the Knicks are the most talented team in the Eastern Conference.
Stephen A? Not in the Eastern Conference, it's the entire NBA.
Correct. But Sinead, we're doing like, OKC, we all agreed. I also feel you on San Antonio, but let's get other teams in the mix. And so I would legitimately look at the Knicks to be a championship squad.
Stephen A?
Both arguments are very compelling. But how about the team we were talking about a little while ago? The Cleveland Cavaliers. Right now, there's speculation that the Cleveland Cavaliers, if LeBron wanted to end his career on a high note, he departs from LA this summer, goes back to Cleveland, delivers a chip, the 5th of his career, and walks away. Tying Kobe, Tim Duncan, championship hardware, that kind of thing, right? That's what we talked about. What if it doesn't come to that because Donovan Mitchell and James Harden steps up and propels the Cleveland Cavaliers to a championship? What if that happens? What if that happens with Allen and Mobley in the lineup? With this guy Tyson hitting some threes, with some of the pieces that they already have in place. What if Cleveland ends up winning a championship? Think about what that would do with the franchise. And think about what that would do with the rest of us, because we were looking forward to LeBron possibly going back to Cleveland, and now that wouldn't be necessary because they'd won without him. What about that? I think that makes for an incredibly compelling story as well. I get what you're saying about San Antonio. I get what you're saying about the Knicks. But we saw a Cleveland Cavaliers team with Cat sitting out inexplicably during the playoffs last year. We saw James Harden, before he arrived, not showing up in big games, meaning performing at a high level. And now he's in Cleveland, replacing Darius Garland. What if the Cleveland Cavaliers ascend to that point? That's a really, really interesting story. I can't knock
Stephen A.
How are we defining ceiling?
Stephen A.
I feel you.
Just like your impeccably tailored suit today, you are giving stark contrast to the way that we started this show. Period. Because you were solo on the Cleveland Cavaliers to start. And now you're saying that they have the highest ceiling.
Time out. Time out. That's exactly falling in line. In other words, I'm low on them right now. So if they won the championship, how high can you go? Which team has the highest ceiling? I'm saying if they pulled that off, based on what we just finished talking about, that would be an incredibly big thing.
Yeah.
My ceiling is predicated not just on this year, potentially being a surprise team and challenging the contenders in the West, but also this San Antonio Spurs team is set up for years to come.
Oh, wait, time out.
They built it.
Whoop, whistle.
Yeah,
Time out. How are we defining ceiling?
The ceiling
Needs to
is
be
the NBA
clarified.
championship.
Of this season.
Of this season.
I thought
Which
the championship
team
this
could win
season.
the championship?
Who changed the narrative now?
Yeah, I think I agree a little bit more with Stephen A. in terms of this season. I think the Spurs are very close to what they're going to be this year. I think they're close to what they're going to be this year. But I think those other two teams, we done seen some lows with them.
Look, the way I define ceiling, maybe as the tallest person here, okay? The way I define ceiling is that plenty of room to surprise you, meaning this is a team that people come in with maybe a little bit lower expectation, but they can surprise you. And we've seen over the course of the regular season that this San Antonio Spurs team can surprise you. Wemby is in the MVP conversation and is likely the favorite for Defensive Player of the Year. He had 10 points yesterday. Do you know what he was on the floor? He was a plus 41. So I look at teams with a lot of room where they can grow and also surprise you. We already know that the Cleveland Cavaliers, they have the pieces to be contenders. We already know that the Cleveland Cavaliers, if they play to their potential, they can come out of the Eastern Conference and make it to an NBA Finals. To me, the room that San Antonio not only has to show how